lost it.
All right, folks, I shouldn't have left you without a dope video to step to. Anyway, it's been a while since I've made a video. Reason is I was monetized on YouTube and now I'm not. So, I'm gonna do something that I've already showcased on my channel before, but yeah, no. There's always other tips and tricks that can be shown. You, as a person, can pick up new things along the way and showcase things better than you have before in previous videos. So what I got here, Ray Bestis brake rotors. And the reason why I got these is because currently I have the drilled and slotted rotors on the Camaro, as you can see there. Those things, they don't hold up, they can crack due to overheat exposure. I don't know, looks like something's kind of weird there. Kind of weird line going down there. The brakes are, I've had them on there almost 4 years, I'm guessing, since that last video I did where I put the brakes on my car. So what I'm going to do, all these rotors, I'm not going to use the brake clean on the rotors. I'm actually going to take this bucket with soap in it. I'm going to take a towel. I'm going to wash each individual rotor instead of using the brakes cleaner on it just to get all that gunk off. Just try something different. Now the reason why I wash these is because I didn't want to use brake clean just for the fact that I didn't want this coating to potentially come off. Because you've ever seen brake rotors without any kind of coating on it, they will rust around that area. They'll rust onto the wheel, they'll rust onto the hub. So I think just some soft soap, get all that protective coating off, and not using brake clean so it doesn't damage that coating that's on there already for the center of them rotors. So just working on one side at the moment. The other side I'm going to show how to tear it all down. Got the caliper just sitting there. Got to compress that piston. And look at this brake pad. This thing is toast compared to the new one. That is a no bueno. So here's a new one. Nice, beautiful. Gonna be able to go right up on there and stop that. So the reason why I wanted these rotors here, I wanted these slotted ones without the drilled holes, because the holes can crack over time, and these can help dissipate the gases that build up from the heat. So they'll bite better, so they'll kind of vent away like built up pressure, and I think they look cool. You really see those brake pads are toast. So that's a new one there, obviously. And this one has just had it. If I waited any longer, I might have put myself in danger. All right, so for these Camaros, 98 to 2002, it's going to be a 15 millimeter bolt for the guide sliding pins, and right here inside is going to be a 16 millimeter. So you're going to use a wrench, you're going to unbolt that, and also here, these are 15 as well for the caliper brackets. So to remove the caliper, two 15 millimeter bolts while using a 16 millimeter wrench, and then you can just take these out. So make sure you don't dangle the caliper. I'm gonna like hang it right there. So I mean, I'm not really doing a how-to video here. I already have one of those. I'll put a link in the description from that video. That is just, I don't, look at this. I mean, look at this line here. It's kind of weird. Let me see if I can buff that out. That is not buffing out. So I'm kind of trying to stay away from these slotted rotors. That is a little bit alarming there. I don't know if it's like coming up much. Right here, you can see that line. Ridiculous. I've seen pictures of a lot of rotors that are drilled that have cracks. But since I don't like take my car out all the time and race it, I mean, I did autocross this once and had a great time doing it. But I feel like things will break eventually, especially with the crappy 10-bolt rear end that's on this thing. So I was just kind of just showing how this is going to look. Like you see, this is the before. This is what I put on here about 4 years ago, actually. And those pads were just totally destroyed. All right, just some quick tips. You're gonna pop these old pins out, these retaining clips there, because you're gonna get some new ones. These are guide sliding pins. I don't know why I keep saying glide, maybe because they do glide. You're gonna pull those out, make sure these boots are good, they're not torn. If they are torn, replace them. So you're gonna go ahead, you're gonna spray this down with brake cleaner, and you're gonna re-grease them. Go ahead and spray the brake parts cleaner in there as well. Get all the gunk out on both sides. I'm going to replace both these clips. Rusty, these rust over time, they're not real great. So when you get brake pads, it's going to come with all the new hardware. And I'm going to end up taking this rotor off here. Just make sure that the parking brake is not on, so you can get that off easily. You can see I got the caliper just sitting there out the way. What I got here is a one-man brake bleeder. Yeah, I cannot speak today, can I? All right, so what you do is you get a hose. It's a 3/8, something like that. I'll show it. I still got plenty left over into the bleeder valve there. Get yourself a flare wrench, because you can strip that bleeder valve using a regular wrench. So I like to make sure that the hose is elevated like this, so bubbles don't travel back down once you start flushing out. You can see that the hose is very clear, because that's what old brake fluid looks like. If it's been in the system too long, it will come out that color. Very disgusting. All right, so the clear tubing that I use for the one-man brake bleeder, so it's going to be 3/16, 5/16 in diameter. So the inner diameter, outer diameter, of course it says like 20 feet long, but you know, I just cut enough tubing so it can go down into the bottle and still have enough length to come out so you can still bleed the brakes. You can pick this up. I got this at Lowe's, fairly cheap. I think it was somewhere under 10 bucks, but it has come in handy. It is a lifesaver when it comes to bleeding brakes, especially if you do it by yourself like I do a lot. So you can just press on that brake pedal and don't have to worry about the bubbles backing up into the system, because you don't want air in the system. Otherwise you get that mushy brake pedal, and that can potentially be dangerous. So I'm all finished up with the rear, both sides. So I will put the link in the description for installing it on my other video when I actually installed these right here. But you see right there, that is definitely some stress fractures going on that rotor there. And there. Yeah, I didn't even looked at the other side yet. So the reason why I'm going with these right here, Brabestos. Pick these up from Rock Auto or whatever. Pretty good brakes. I like them. I mean, I haven't tested them out yet.